Okay, here we go. I just, I think I'm gonna turn the sound down on this just a little. I finished my, actually my first playthrough of New Vegas a couple of days ago. I decided, you know what, I'm bored as fuck. I feel like streaming something. May as well do New Vegas. Huh. I don't know. Always seems odd when YouTube chat is more active than Twitch chat. Although I've noticed it's more common for my channel, given that YouTube is kind of my main place, but anyway. Yeah, no mods. I am not entirely sure how well my computer would handle them, or handle, you know, a number of mods. I might add some as things go on, just, you know, general quality of life stuff. But, yeah, I just haven't really gotten around to it. Really should. I'm mostly gonna be quiet for things like the intro, so.
War. War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Yeah. First off, fuck no. I know better than to head straight north. The specs on this thing are, off the top of my head, what is it? An R7 260X and an Athlon 2760K, I want to say? Or an Athlon X... Athlon something 760K. I can never keep that straight. It was low end when I built it, and you know, it's run things fairly well on lowish settings at the resolutions I've been using, which, you know, I have a 1600 by 900 monitor, so not high resolutions. Yeah. And yeah, a big part of it is just that I'm too lazy to deal with script extenders, which I tried modding Skyrim a while back, and just nothing would show up, no matter what I did, for some reason. I mean, I had SKSE in, I checked my load order, and, you know, things never really worked. I've spent, like, the last couple of days trying to come up with a new name.
I can't say it's what I'd have.
Yeah, I know. It's just
That's your name. I'm Doc Mitchell.
odd.
Welcome to Goodsprings. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there and you're not.
And also, yeah, I've always leaned NCR as well, mostly because the Legion are fucking psychopaths. I tried Free New Vegas, but I cannot fucking stand House, and something just feels downright wrong about working with Yes Man. I don't know. And, God, the presets are terrible. Yeah. I don't really care one way or another about the UI, since once I really just set things up and go. And honestly, Twitch has never worked quite right for me either. Just very, very odd. Yeah. Really my biggest issues are just that I've never been able to get mods to work. Yeah, I have Nexus Mod Manager installed. Yeah. I might give it I might try installing a few for the next, for next time I start streaming. Let's see. Yeah. Really, either way, I need to get around to building a new computer, because this one is really showing its age. And I think it might be getting ready to die on me. Only reason I haven't is, you know, other expenses, which are a pain in the ass. Sure. Yeah, most of the modding I've done was back when I played tons and tons of Minecraft. Of course, none of the mods I actually like have updated since 1.7, so... You don't really need to spend all that much money on PC gaming. It's just that I'm sick of low end. And I really want to, like, I want the next build that I do to be, you know. Yeah, I know. Like, with, I noticed, especially after they went and did the, Windows 10 edition of Minecraft, there's been a big resurgence in old school stuff. Like, I think 1.6.4 has, like, one of the really big... 1.6.4 is fairly strong in terms of modding still, from what I've noticed. And you know, I was just thinking about what's it? Damn it, words are escaping me tonight. I was just thinking about all the factions and how, you know, and how none of them are really what you would call good choices when you really think about it. Yeah, they'll do fine for that. I'll make him a little older. Doesn't look quite right, but I mean, no faces just always look wrong in Bethesda games. There's nothing for it. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, no one felt satisfied with the factions and endings in 4. Yeah, I finally got around to finishing New Vegas a couple of days ago, actually. I got really annoyed towards the end. I had initially meant to do, NCR, and then went, oh no, I can do free New Vegas, or it's like I'll side with House and like stay out of the factions, because that seems like more appropriate for me. And then I had Veronica as a follower, and had for, I think she was the only follower I wound up taking. So it seemed kinda wrong to blow up the Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah, I've heard of Tales of the Wasteland. I've thought about doing that.
Well, I got most of it right anyway. Stuff that mattered. Okay. No sense
Yeah,
in
I know
being
there's
good
some stuff with
Let's see
with
if it
ammo
can get you on your
types,
feet.
because like some stuff carried over and some stuff didn't.
Good. Why don't you
Um,
walk down to the end of the road?
I don't know. I don't feel like they really fit very well together story-wise. I still have not finished Skyrim. I started playing like
Go ahead and give the
I started playing on a regular
We'll learn right quick.
Skyrim, and then Special Edition came out, and I was like, oh, I'll do Special Edition and play more of that, and then started doing that. But Special Edition introduced so many new performance issues for me. Like, I get 60 FPS here in New Vegas, I get between 45 and 60 in regular Skyrim, and then boot up New Vegas and I get like 5. And even after lowering graphics values and doing some innie tweaks to try and get things to really work right, it really just didn't work well. Let's see. Right. Yeah, I'm sure like the mod does it really well. It's just, I mean, lore-wise, it feels a little awkward. And I get, way too... Right, today we are, I guess it is day, technically. We're doing a, Fallout New Vegas stream. I'm making, well, going over stats right now. I'm making something of a, I think I'm going to do something of a more gruff, soldiery character, since I went for more of a lone cowboy kind of guy last time. I'm going to say probably an ex-NCR soldier who retired, went to Nevada for a little while, has been wandering around, did some work as a courier until this mishap. Yeah, I'll give him a few extra points of perception. Maybe bump down his intelligence 1. And his agility, since he's supposed to be kind of older. And make him very durable. I've got a couple of extra points. Luck just seems wrong for this sort of character. Yeah, I'll bump charisma back up to normal. There we go.
I guess that explains why it's still alive.
I bumped down luck
Solid as
purposefully.
an oak.
I know luck really does matter, but that's not the point.
What do you say you take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple of questions? See if your dogs are still barking.
The one thing I really don't like about New Vegas has to be
All right.
wait, what do you say? It's a dog, right? Cat.
House. Night. Bandit.
Sort of a veteran soldier. Oh, hello, Lemon. Sorry, I got involved in talking too much, and yeah. I honestly missed the last word. I'm assuming it had to do with, I think this was enemy? Fucking stab.
Light. Mother.
Hey, welcome to the stream. Oh, you're not gonna like this stream, Lemon. You're not gonna like this stream. Regret.
Okay. First one.
No. Angry man.
I ain't. I'm always fixing to be the center of
Yeah,
attention.
I'm planning to go almost full NCR. Well, first NCR this time. Well, that first full NCR this time. Yeah. Debating on who to pick up as a follower. Maybe Cass.
I'm slow.
No opinion.
I
Oh,
charge
yeah.
in to... Almost done here.
Got some PTSD here.
Okay.
Boone, maybe.
about this one?
I know he's ex-NCR as well, so it'd kind of fit. Couple of old soldiers wandering around the desert together. Hell yes. I am definitely going for the grunt perk. Yeah, I was thinking, you know, Boone or Cass. The only DLC I did last time was Lonesome Road. No, not Lonesome Road. Honest Hearts. Why did I say Lonesome Road? Well, probably because you're a fan of Caesar's Legion. Sneering Imperialist, probably. I guess a piece of space age technology. But this one looks a little weird. That looks like two people. To me. I don't know why it... I guess a bearded man works.
Well, that's all
fair.
she wrote. I don't have nothing to
I
compare it to,
hardly
so
know
maybe
anything
you
about
just tell
Boone,
me
so...
what the result-
Well, not hardly know anything, but... Okay. Let's go with guns, explosives, and... Two bears high five. If two people said it, it must be from something. And I am just missing the joke. Repair sounds about right. Keep my weapons in good shape.
Before I turn you loose, I need one more thing from you.
Mm.
Got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
Alright. Ah, Wild Wasteland. Wild Wasteland annoys me so much. Let's see. Trigger discipline definitely makes sense. Yeah. Let's see. You say boon, but I took, I would assume one of, is because he's behind, Veronica. I took her last time, and I believe that I've got myself set on the highest difficulty, unless something reset that. I would wind up in combat, you know, start fighting, all of a sudden, Veronica rushes past me and one-shots everything. I didn't change her equipment at all. I found her, like, mid-game. It was ridiculous. No. Good nature doesn't really work for this guy. That would kind of... Fast shot would sort of just cancel out trigger discipline. Maybe... That would explain it. Might do heavy-handed. Or I might just, you know... screw it. I'll just go with that trait. I don't really need 2 traits. I'm not doing... No, I'm not doing Wild Wasteland. I really don't like Wild Wasteland.
Alright, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out.
I mean, I was thinking, built to destroy, maybe once I've got a fuck ton of repair like I had last time, but it's like, yeah.
Here,
It's gonna
here's
suck
your
early game, and that's
was all
not
you
gonna
had
be
on you
fun.
when I was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin, but it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if
As
you're
usual,
getting
I have
back
a
out
pot
there,
of
you
tea
ought to
sitting
have
next to me.
this. They call it a pip boy. I grew up in one of them
Messing
vaults
with
and made
my
before the war.
ratio right
We
now.
all got
It's
one.
3
Ain't much use to me
teaspoons of
now,
Irish
you might want
breakfast,
such a
and
thing after what you've been through.
I think I put in
I know
7
what
of
it's
Earl
like having
Grey.
something taken from you. And put this on too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. Don't. You should talk
I've also
to
got
Sonny
a
Smout
really
before you leave
bad
town.
habit
She can
of,
help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come
Yeah,
right
jury
back.
rigging is the
I'll
best
fix you
perk
up.
ever, and
But try
I'm
not to get
probably going to
killed
wind up
anymore.
going for that one way or another. Yes, I'm going to do hardcore. Repair is the best perk ever. Seriously? Oh, do you mean the game or me? I really can't tell. Alright, let's take inventory. I'll probably take Rex. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, Bethesda games are infamous for audio desync, so I would not be surprised if it's just the game. I have not been paying attention. Yes, I know. Okay, right. I should let that fade. Okay, yes. Alright. I've played the game before. I don't need all these tutorial messages. I'm probably gonna wear medium armor most of the time. Guess I'll just go with the lightweight metal armor for now. And I forgot how like ridiculously over-equipped you wind up with some of the DLC stuff. Fallout 3 is very iffy.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're
I do not use an Elgato. I am streaming I'm using software streaming with OBS, and I'm streaming through a service called Restream.io, which lets me stream to both YouTube and Twitch together. So, you know, there's several steps that might be screwing me.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need.
Yeah. Oh, how the fuck did you happen to find me?
I was out for a stroll that night.
Favorite
when I
ballistic
heard the
gun?
commotion up the old
Survivalist's rifle.
Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid
From
once they'd run
Honest
off,
Hearts.
I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were.
That thing.
So I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
I didn't use, or like, I found it, I heard about it kind of after the fact, or kind of like as I was finishing up with that. So I had a fuck ton of 12.7. Yeah, it probably is. Like I said earlier, Bethesda games are infamous for audio desync. You know who they are?
Can't say that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that.
And I don't really care about the rest. I don't think I ever found the battle rifle or the Bozar. Oh, my audio is off too? I really don't know. I mean, yeah. Like, it could be happening at one of, like, 3 places. I'm not sure if it's screwing up at OBS. I'm not sure if it's screwing up at Restream. I'm not sure if Twitch or YouTube is... Okay, people on YouTube are saying that it's probably Twitch's fault because it's fine over there. So I am just going to assume that that's what's going on. Yep. I didn't really use any of the Gunrunner's Arsenal stuff.
Cheyenne, stay.
I got both of those.
Don't worry. She won't bite
I
unless I tell her
never
to.
really used energy weapons at all. Yeah, I don't know. I like ballistic weapons. Let's see. Yeah, Doc Mitchell said you could teach me to survive. A little low on caps. Fuck it. You know, it gives me some. It gives me some quick.
I guess there's a thing or two I could show you.
Yeah, it gets this
Sounds like
quest
you
out of the
know all the
way
help you can
and
get
gets
after
me
what they done
some
to you.
quick experience.
Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
May as well. I never really used melee either. By the time I got where I was, you know, I dumped all my points into small arms. Oh.
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the
Right,
fence there?
and the other nice thing about this, it gets me a varmint rifle,
Take this
which
and try
is
to hit a
kind
couple
of
of
what
them.
I tended to use last time for, like, the majority of the game. Okay, really should have hit. There we go.
That's the right idea.
I guess I have
Look
to
down the
aim
sight.
a little bit to the, just slightly
Try
to
crouching
the
down and
left
staying
of where I
still.
feel like I
It'll help your
should.
aim. Nice shot.
One of
Well,
my
that's a
biggest
start,
issues, really,
but I don't reckon you
is
came to me to
just
learn to fight sarsaparilla
Bethesda
bottles.
does not
Tell you
know
what,
how to do
I gotta go
melee.
chase geckos away from our water
It
supply anyway.
feels
Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you
it
come
feels
along?
simultaneously clunky and kind of floaty, like not really. That sort of like not really there kind of thing. Oh, and now people are saying the audio's off on YouTube too. Eh. Does the varmint rifle really suck that much? Let me check the stats. Let's see. 8 damage. They're about the same repair and it does 1 more damage. I never really used explosives, mostly because I have terrible aim with thrown weapons. In any game. Like, I just can't manage it. You guys really don't like the varmint rifle. To be fair, I only really use it until I get, until I get the service rifle. But either way. Shotguns are nice, but I didn't take shotgun surgeon, so by late game they were useless. And I never found much 12 gauge, only 20 gauge.
Hear that up on the ridge behind me there? We got some geckos to clear out. Bunch of little monsters is what they are. Seems like Doc Mitchell treats more gecko bites than anything else. Let's see if we can...
Alright. And I guess, you know, with this kind of build, the 9mm makes more sense. Sort of an old service rifle kind of, or an old service gun kind of thing.
Okay, you're on. Go give them hell.
Or where the hell are they? Is the draw distance so low that they haven't shown up yet? Entirely possible. There's one. I have not done an Anarchy run since I've only done 1 run of this game before, and finished it a couple of days ago. It took, well, okay, technically I did 2 because I used to play on the PlayStation 3, but, you know, this feels easier than it has. No. Guess it got brought down somehow. No. It should be on very hard. But my last run ended awkwardly with, right. I should be taking gecko meat, since I have hardcore on. I could probably craft something with that, but I don't care enough.
See? You're getting the hang of it. There's 2 more wells that still need clearing. You want, you can come along. It'd be worth a few cows.
No gods, no kings, only men. Or only man.
Shouldn't take more than a couple minutes, especially with 2 of us. Come with me.
Yeah, my character wound up with... Lockpick was at 100. Stealth was at like 50. No, stealth was at 25. Lockpick was 100, of course, because you kind of need it to be at 100.
Come on.
I'll probably do a Legion run eventually. But not this time. I'm doing an NCR run. I've already decided on that. Best possible way to play New Vegas is to find a mod that lets you exit character creation without allocating all stats, and to lower everything but luck to 0. And I passed where I was supposed to go. I'm also going to try and limit my fast traveling, so there's going to be lots of long stretches of wandering. Oh, Arizona Killer. I'm assuming that's the other side of the Saving Kimball quest, right? That one was fucking ridiculous.
Ah, hell's bells. There's not a day passes by I don't tell people not to come here by themselves. Some people, your word just isn't good enough for them. Well, it's a part, but you did what you promised. One more thing I wanted to show you. Thought I might teach you about living off the land and making useful things for yourself. Interested?
Yeah, may as well.
All right then. We'll need a couple ingredients to get started.
Sweet
Gonna want
experience.
some xanderroot and a brock flower. Let me think now. I know I've seen brock flowers growing up at the graveyard. And bring those.
Honestly, saving Kimball was a pain in the ass. Especially since, I mean, I started the whole thing climbing up onto the roof and watching the other roof. And through that whole thing, you know, like, I went over to check, and then, you know, came back. And the dead body didn't show up on the ground, so I figured, oh, it's absolutely one of, you know, the NCR snipers. Nope. Saving Kimball was annoying as fuck. I did not know that, though I can definitely see the resemblance. Honestly, the best part of saving Kimball was him going, "Let's get out of here, I'd rather not get shot," at the very end of it. Have I not hit you? I am shooting everywhere but this motherfucker. I swear my aim is better than that. This game just has terrible shooting mechanics. Ah. So the sights on this thing are terrible. Like, I do not understand the design of the 10mm pistol. It looks like they were trying to make a bolter. And didn't really acknowledge that the reason that bolters look so fucking huge is because they're for minis. Or they're designed for minis and need to be massive to show off any form of detail. Yeah, I'd rather not use duplicate or duplications and bugs like that. Just not my thing. Yes, game, I understand how to enter VATS. You can stop telling me how to enter VATS. I swear that more of those hit that thing. What the hell was that? Meh. Oh, these fuckers. Yes, yes. Oh. Gotta tab out for a moment. YouTube is getting mad that people are cursing in chat. There we go. No, it's not a problem. Like, all it did was like hold the comment for a moment for me to review. No, it keeps moving. What's the second? I have not done Grendel. It is, however, on my list of things I'm going to read eventually. Along with, let's see. Oh, there's a snow globe up there? I did not realize there was a snow globe up there. Yeah, Grendel is on my list of things to read. Along with things like, damn it, the names are just falling out of my mind tonight. Oop. I don't want to dig it. No, stop it. Yeah, I intend to read Grendel, along with Tale of the Industrious Rogue, Shadowrun Storytime, I keep meaning to message the guy who's been writing Steel Shod and ask if I can do that. But that one's, you know, very long running and still ongoing. So I'm gonna wait until after I finish, you know, long running things that have since ceased to be long running. Well, not ceased to be long running, but ceased to be running. I'm not picking up random crap that I'm not going to use. The snow globe gets picked up because, you know, snow globes. Getting some frame drops out here. It's odd. Well, I mean, the reason they're worth $2,000 is because House is a fucking weirdo and snow globes have been destroyed mostly. You know, come to think of it, I don't really know of... Hell, I can't think of any Black Crusade stories. Lots of Dark Heresy, some only war, but no Black Crusade, and hell, the only Death Watch story I can think of is someone who used only war rules to roll up a Krieg to play along a Death Watch squad. That was an interesting one. And if I'm remembering correctly, the Krieg was the only person to survive that one.
Hey, that's not bad, see? All it takes to make a recipe is the right ingredients and the right know-how. Sometimes it won't be a campfire you need. Might need to do some work on your guns and ammo. Important. Well, I'm heading back.
I'm just skipping through tutorial dialogue. I really don't need to listen to it again. I mean, on the one hand, Chaos doesn't get much love from writers. On the other hand, Chaos gets a fuck ton of love from the memes. Hell, I know people who say blood for the blood god without even knowing what Warhammer is. I also know people who refuse to acknowledge that Grimdark was invented by anything other than Homestuck, which annoys me to no end. It's like, which came first? The tabletop mini war game that started being sold in the, early 80s? Or the popular webcomic that showed up in the mid-2000s? I wonder if I could actually fix, or if I can actually fix YouTube to show... I'm gonna need to find some, I'm gonna need to find my settings to figure out how the hell I can... Let's see, stream options... Chat options somewhere where I can... There's gotta be some way I can turn off the chat filter that it's doing, because this is insane. Yeah, I'm not finding anything. Well, maybe if I do this. There we go. No, that's... no. Okay, so I have to go to another page to... Alright. Blocked words. What the... Okay, I mean... Wow. This is... Ah, here it is. Found it. Alright. And saved. People should now be able to curse in chat. Let me just bring the chat back up, since it forced me onto another page. No, I do not want to hold inappropriate messages for review YouTube. That's what I just had to fix you doing that for me. And there we go. That should fix that. That sounds like a Black Crusade game.
I'm done being nice. If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not going to buy something, get out.
What the heck?
Well, you've been causing quite a stir.
And what's that argument all about, eh?
Looks like our little town got itself dragged into the middle of something we don't want anything to do with. About a week ago, this traitor, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. Bad men after him. Needs a place to hide. We figured he was just in shock, so we gave him a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to come after him.
We went over the mods thing earlier. I just... honestly, I just didn't really think to install any, most of all. And also don't feel like dealing with the script extender, since that was being a pain in the ass last time I tried. It just seems so weird to me that Chaos has commissars. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but still.
Cobb hasn't exactly been looking for Ringo too hard. I think he's afraid that Ringo will ambush him, which is probably true. He's holed up at the abandoned gas station up the hill.
I might... I might do a couple of those stories about Karn and how he's a pretty chill guy.
You mean murder him? That's not our way, even if Cobb is scum.
I mean...
He can bluster and threaten all he wants.
Clearly has, you know, weapons and backup. And I think at that point, it's pretty clear that it's not bluffing. Excuse me.
Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the powder gangers with him.
Yeah, let's see what you got for sale. Should probably buy water. And... that is the only appropriate personality for a Cornate Beast Man. Hell, that's just the only appropriate personality for a cornate. How did I wind up with tobacco? I would rather not carry various drugs. I just do not trust them in this game. And really, the 0.5 caps, okay. No, that's great.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah. I'd
Not
like
much,
to get back.
other than they're a bunch
I'd
of
like to find
freeloaders
him
who
and
expected
shoot
a
him in
few
the back
rounds
of the
on
head
the house. I was able to get them to pay up,
several
though.
times.
Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor by accident. And they were having some kind of... Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to go back. That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive, which it could be for all I know.
I think in this place, just about everything's radioactive.
I didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip. Fellow wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up.
Alright.
Sure, the outside, there'd be caps in it for you. I do like to hear what's going on in the world. And that Mr. New Vegas seems like such a gentleman.
I guess her whole point is that's like, oh, well, it's only been him so far. There's been no sign of his backup, which I guess, you know.
Hell is your problem.
Feeling thirsty? I can take... Yeah, I heard it turn right back on after you got done tinkering with it. Here's some caps for the work. You're...
Alright. Wrong room. There we go. Wait, where am I going? Right, gas station. What, the Nurglite guy or the, Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Goodsprings gas station. Yes, yes.
That's close enough.
Your stupid gun. If you're gonna shoot me, you'd better not miss.
Sorry about the gun. You just caught me off guard, that's all. We got off to a bad start. Let's say we start over with a friendly game of Caravan.
Barely.
You know how to play?
And that is the
Yeah.
weirdest offer.
He doesn't look very tough, though. I hear he's afraid I'll shoot him down from one of the windows when I see him. And he's right. I'll have a much bigger problem once his friends show up. There's no way I could handle all of them in a gunfight.
Yep. Yeah, I know
It's
how
a
to play
two-player.
Caravan. Kinda.
It's here, take this holiday.
Sure,
So,
why not?
Don't.
Yeah. I do not care enough. And that is a screwed up button. That is always the most fun person to have in your party. I'm Not entirely sure. I remember I looked it up a while ago and was just fairly confused. Right. I think it's sort of like a... Oh shit, I forgot. It's mostly keyboard controls, and they're shit controls. Right, I want to say it's sort of like... It's sort of like 3 simultaneous games of blackjack. Is how I remember it. No, that's not what I want to do. Right. Right. Entirely keyboard controls. Yay. And yeah. I know there's a target number, and I want to say that it's 21, but I cannot remember for the life of me. I know there's weird restrictions on what cards you can play where, and I cannot remember for the life of me. I guess that there. No, maybe it's 28, not 21. And face cards do weird things instead of adding numbers, right? Like making people play or remove cards. It's weird. It's weird as fuck. Right, Jack lets you take a card off. I wish I could figure out what the restrictions on playing cards in certain places were. Because... Oh, right, and you can play cards on your opponent's side sometimes. God, I fucking hate Caravan. I don't even know why I agreed to play. I guess I'll discard the 2. No, stop. Stop that. Oh, right, because... Right. That'll bring that up to... Yep. Yeah, I want to say that's it. What, 28 is over? Or it has to be... I think it also has to be a higher suit. Or it can be a higher suit if it's a lower value or something like that. Yeah. Oh no, I was thinking of Jack. Okay, no, 26 is the number. What does a king do? Yeah. And nope, wrong one. Really, I was trying to... There we go. There we go. That fixed that problem. Yeah. There we go. And I'm not playing that again. Anything that makes Slaanesh mad is a good thing. Because Slaanesh is the worst Chaos God. And also the worst thing about 40k. Even the rest of Chaos hates Slaanesh. Right, I played Caravan instead of actually talking about the thing that I was supposed to talk about. Shit. Caravan, kids. Not even once.
What is it?
Yeah. Sure. You need a hired gun, I'm available.
All I've got left on me are a handful of caps. But you get me out of this, and I'll make sure the Crimson Caravan pays you back. You've got my word.
Yeah.
We'd just end up sharing the same grave if it's just the two of us. Now, if some of the other people in town were also on board...
Dialogue's a bit louder. Alright, I can bump up the volume, I guess. Usually I keep it quieter, because I usually just keep my volume low. But alright.
Start with some...
There we go. That should help.
Hi there. Sticking around Goodsprings for a while longer?
Yeah.
Say no more. I'm in. Joe Cobb talks about leaving us alone if we hand over Ringo. But I know his type. He and his friends will come after the town eventually. However, between you, me, and Ringo, we aren't exactly a force to be reckoned with. A lot of people around here look up to Trudy. If you could convince Trudy to join us, some of the folks in town... I know Easy Pete's got a stock of dynamite somewhere. Finally, there's a good chance we'll all end up with extra holes in us. So if Doc Mitchell could cough up some extra stim packs, that'd be great.
Alright.
A silver tongue would help. Convincing...
Right. Okay.
So you're planning on taking on Joe Cobb's gang. It's a big risk.
No and no. Huh. Right. I'm gonna bump up one of them to convince her. What was it? 20 speech or 25 speech? One of them was 20 and the other was 25, and I can't remember which was which. I have the worst fucking memory. I feel like Sneak makes more sense for this character anyway. Speech is 25, so I'm assuming Sneak was the 20. So I'll put 8 points in Sneak. I know old Pete wants explosives, and I may as well take some stuff for that. Let's see. And Swift Learner, always. Always.
Feeling thirsty?
Oh, they are... I bumped my sneak up to 20. Why does it say 18? I know there's a speech option for 25, but... Oh, right, I'm wearing the... Right. And I need 5 more. Yeah. And I still need 5 more sneak. They are both 25, as it turns out. I haven't actually played... Well, okay, I have played Fallout 1, but I kind of gave up on that fairly quickly. I started playing it, and then... What was it? I wound up... I keep trying to hit escape to exit that. I don't know why they have 2 menus for this damn game. But yeah, I tried to play Fallout 1. Had my character all set up. Went out into the wasteland. First random encounter. I start doing alright. Then drop my gun. And the gun lands under one of my enemy's corpses. Which didn't let me... Which meant that I couldn't pick it up. And every time I tried to pick it up, the rest of the enemies kept getting closer and closer until they slaughtered me because I couldn't pick up my only weapon.
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was patching. I've got plenty of supplies for sale. Even got some weapon mods and special ammo. Well worth the caps if you ask me.
You know, that really killed my interest in finishing the first Fallout game. Which I've heard it best described as you play it despite the gameplay rather than because of it. Yeah, show me what you got for sale. And so you start with this. Machete's fine, but I will get the fuck rid of these. I guess no stories because a lot of people forget that Black Crusade exists, honestly. It's just sort of there. Yeah, it's one of those, I guess a lot of people, it's like, really, as far as 40k RPGs go, Dark Heresy is the only one that really gets any recognition. Like, I didn't find out Only War existed until I started reading All Guardsman Party. And the only reason I found out about Deathwatch was because at one point I was given a Deathwatch module from Free RPG Day. And that was about that.
Give me a shout if you need anything else. Now...
Fuck you. Maybe I should buy that magazine. I mean, yeah, it's an easy game if you get Stealth 100, but you have to get to Stealth 100 And exploits just annoy me. I don't like using them. Well, no, it's not a bug, but it's an exploit. There's a difference. An exploit is just taking advantage of game mechanics.
Welcome back. Seems like wherever I... Oh, I'm not...
Thank you. Dark Souls.
Hello.
You don't know the horror
What can Easy
of
Pete do for you?
game exploits until you've been forced to contend with a PvP black magic user. Yeah. And is there anything else I can do to raise my experience a little? And it's all DLC stuff. Shit. Dark Souls really isn't as difficult as people say it is. It's got a couple of walls of difficulty, but really the difficulty isn't as pronounced as people kind of claim it is. Dark Souls 2, sure. Yeah, harsh but fair is a really good way to put it. Even, like, all of the traps have some kind of tell. It always, you know, throws a lighter version of a trap at you first before the, or just so you know what to watch out for before it hits you with the full extent of any of the, or with the full extent of any of the traps that it has. The only times it's really bullshit, or the only times that it's bullshit and you can't avoid it, are things like, Ornstein and Smau, who are annoying as fuck. I'd say Dark Heresy is so popular because it's kind of the image that everyone has of 40k. It's that image of the Inquisition or the Inquisition versus Chaos, which is kind of the only thing most people really think of when they think of Dark Heresy. Or not Dark Heresy, when they think of 40k. Which isn't an accurate... It's not an accurate description, but it's the one that's stuck for some reason. Just like everyone forgets Rogue Trader is a thing despite sharing it. Which, actually, that one is more because it shares its name with the originator of 40k. And usually when you try and search for stuff pertaining to the 40k RPG, you wind up with info on the old 80s game which was a mess and has lots of really weird things. Like back then, you actually got to roll a random die for various orc effects. And... oh, no, Rogue Trader RPG is completely different from the old Rogue Trader game. Rogue Trader RPG has been just as maintained as Dark Heresy, Black Crusade, and Only War, because it was done by Fantasy Flight Games. Or at least, it was maintained until they lost the license. So none of them are going to be updated anymore. Anything that might up my...
You looking to buy some supply?
Let's see. You got... yeah. Alright, I guess I'll buy that. Probably use it. And... fuck it, I'll take a drink.
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
Yeah, Fantasy Flight made all of the recent 40K RPGs, including Deathwatch. None of them are going to be maintained anymore, and what's the new one? I want to say it's Blood something. Games Workshop is working on a new RPG that's... it's got some mixed opinions to it, let's just say.
You looking to buy some supplies?
Yeah.
You made your point. I can provide people with some leather armor and I'll be...
right, shovel. That is probably a good idea. He doesn't have a fucking shovel. This motherfucker doesn't have a shovel. Oh no, there, it's a weapon, of course. Huh.
Another satisfied customer.
Yeah, Games Workshop is working on their own RPG now, which, rather than having a bunch of specialized ones like Fantasy Flight was doing, they've got one system, and they also don't exactly have classes, from what I can tell. It's bizarre and kind of confusing. And also, while the whole point of it is to be, more flexible, I have actually not played the tabletop game. I just don't have the money for it. It's really... it's something I've thought about building a guardsman army a couple of times, or possibly a Tau army, but, you know. I don't know what to tell you about that, man. It's the best advice I can give you is to get the hell out of the country, because, you know, it's kind of a mess. But even that, you know, it won't solve every problem, and it will probably create new ones. Yeah. Favorite faction? Somewhere, but I've never really been able to decide between Imperium and Tau. Tau definitely used to be my favorite, although I've been reading Gaunt's Ghosts and have been a much bigger fan of the Imperium since things like that. I know, what is it, Sisters of Battle keep getting completely shafted.
Feeling thirsty?
Yeah. Who don't do melee, which is apparently a problem. Yeah, it's like the Tau are pretty much the complete opposite of orcs from what I've been told. Orcs are absolutely fucking shit at long range, and your only hope is to keep them from getting close. You know, your hope is to keep them from getting close. While Tau are shit at melee, but the best thing ever at long range. So your goal is to keep the enemy from getting close. I just realized I've been wandering around Goodsprings with no fucking clue what I'm doing. Did that already wear off? No. Yeah, that's iffy. Screw it, we'll do this without the help of the town. That's a good point. Right, I actually forgot I was using hardcore mode, despite, you know, examining various plus and minus H2O and food effects. And then going... Oh, right, there's also the safe in here that I should probably open up. Which, I believe, yeah. Really? I don't have the lockpick skill? And I don't have the science skill either. Great. Okay, another time. Yeah.
Howdy, partner.
Oh,
Trouble
hi.
with rustlers, huh?
Thank you, Victor. No, I'm not trying to talk.
Howdy, partner.
I'm trying to get into your house. Yeah. I have heard from a few people that Russia is slowly getting better. And it's more like with every subsequent leader, it gets a little bit better than it was. And how, you know, in the Soviet Union, you were really, you know, your thoughts were policed. Now it's just your actions that are policed. And once Putin's out of power, hopefully things will get a little better. But, you know, he's going to have to die before he gets out of power, because he is not going to give up willingly. Yeah. Better, but not good. So, yeah. But, you know, this is all hearsay, and I have no idea if it's actually...
So what's going on? Did Sonny agree to help us?
I wouldn't say that either. I've got very strong opinions about that. Or very strong opinions about Putin. And, you know,
well, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not.
Time to look alive.
Yeah.
At least 6. I'll be set up.
Yeah. You know, it's a whole mess.
Howdy.
Oh, I think the guy's a fucking dumb shit. Why are there naked men? Why are there half-naked men? Oh, I'm out of ammo. That would probably be why I'm not shooting anything.
Like that?
No, I don't. I think the man's an idiot.
I owe you a huge favor. I'll stick around.
Yeah. Wait, shit, I sold my varmint rifle. No, I didn't sell my varmint rifle. Good. I can now actually repair some shit, and hopefully I'll fetch a decent price. Oh, right. I forgot the good repair that some of this shit starts at. It's a little bullshit there. I mean, bullshit in my favor, but still bullshit. And what I should... I need a drink. Oof, yikes. Yeah, that brought my food and my thirst down. Alright, what else to do? feel like there's something else I'm supposed to do right now. But I have no idea. Right, I already searched that guy. I guess I'll just... Drink a few of these. And use this. And what else? Guess this. Shit, I think my tea's starting to go cold. Or did go cold, probably, at this point. Fuck. Probably should have drank that quicker. I got too involved in being completely lost. Yeah, how about some music?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much.
Are you sure that it was the site that crashed your computer?
You're gonna love our next segment. Citizens of Outer Vegas are flocking to the Strip in droves amid a wave of terror caused by a band of raiders known as the Fiends. Those who can afford passports are saying
There might be some kind of bug in it. I'm not going to say one way or the other because I have not checked it and don't even intend to.
In the lap of luxury. Got a song for you now. It's about a guy who's cold on the exterior, but deep down,
Really could be a coincidence, though.
and his name is Johnny Guitar.
Given that, it probably is a coincidence.
Like that?
Yeah, I don't blame you for not wanting to go back, but I'm just saying that hearing something about a glitch or something that for some reason makes Johnny Guitar play like 3 times as much as the other songs. So it's one of those songs that, you know, I can tolerate it overall, but don't really want to listen to over and over.
Hey.
That'll teach the powder gangs to. Not in good. Most of what's in there is if you want to take a shot. If the lock's too much for you to handle,
Right.
you'll need those.
Yeah, I will check it out later when I'm not, you know, on stream.
Merchants are saying that there's been little contact between traders from Nipton in recent days, causing concerns that the isolated town may be in trouble. Those were our top stories. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
In an old rundown schoolhouse. Sold to someone or something like that. I'm probably wrong. It's just New Vegas has so many of those weird people who are just like, hey, I collect this weird thing you've probably been running across all over, but thought was complete junk. I will give you several thousand caps for each one you bring in. Okay, no. This is definitely my favorite song in New Vegas. Yay! First death. Need to be more careful. Victor is here because reasons. I am not a fan of senseless violence. Three people adding to it, and or no, for every one person creating content, on average there are about 10 people adding to it, like comments and people in chat, and then something like 40 or 50 people who are just watching and saying nothing. I probably got the numbers wrong, but They haven't exactly. In 3, they were ridiculously, weirdly nice. The,
Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge to the northwest.
and, like, there's some stuff about how the Brotherhood outcasts are honestly, screw off, Victor. Yes, I can take care of myself, which I clearly can't, but...
I would... I said...
Right. Yeah, they were, like, originally kind of dicks, because, you know, their whole shtick is, we know better than you. You're just some tribal or whatever. And there go all my doctor's bags. Oh shit, oh shit! I swear this isn't my usual... Or I swear I'm not usually this bad at games. I promise you. No, but seriously. I'm not doing well today. Yeah, no, the Brotherhood of Steel were dicks, and there's a whole thing about, in 3, how the Brotherhood outcasts are really a lot closer to how the Brotherhood of Steel usually act than the actual Brotherhood in 3. And then, you know, New Vegas, they're not exactly... Depending on how you meet them, I wouldn't call them dicks. I mean, if you meet them with Veronica, they're pretty fine with you. If you meet them the other way, I mean, you did basically just break into their home? Do you expect them to be nice to you? They're a secret organization that's gone into hiding and doesn't like strange... Someone else asked about favorite weapons. My personal favorite is the Survivalist's Rifle. It's a 12.7 version of the Service Rifle, and 12.7 is essentially the same thing as 50 cal. So, you know, that's... We have no idea what's going wrong with the sound. All we know is that something is going wrong with the sound. It very well may be my internet connection, because for some reason it keeps jumping up to a ping of roughly 2,000. Sometimes up to 4,000.
The High Mountain radio signal is back after
Right,
a
I
long
believe if
absence.
you
Listeners
walk,
say that new
then
programming
the...
is, quote, less for outcasts, more for weirdos. Also in the headlines, tensions are brewing in Freeside between the
Fuck it,
ruling
it's
gang
worth
known
some
as
at
the
least.
Kings and the large
What is it? I
number of
believe that if you
NCR squatters
walk,
seeking refuge
then mines don't
The leader of the
activate.
Kings, who
And
would
I
only
honestly
identify
think this guy
himself
may
as
have
the
wound up
King,
laying down on a
voiced
mine.
his displeasure, calling NCR
Fun.
citizens, quote, the devil in disguise. He added he didn't want to see the NCR in the ghetto, and called for a mass, quote, return to sender. You know, I think all news, whether it's good or bad, brings us closer together. Don't you? And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
Ah, hey. Or no, they explode, but like, if you sneak and walk, you have to get much closer or something. You sure? Because I remember a whole thing about, like, I remember winding up looking up how to avoid landmines, and someone said, oh, if you walk, you'll be fine. And I remember it working. Then again, I have a shit memory, as we've already established. So I might be completely wrong. And I'm probably completely wrong. This is true. But I mean, really? Would people really do that? Go on the internet and tell lies? So, a fun fact about Joshua. Did you know, what was it? He was originally going to be a character in Van Buren, which was the cancelled Fallout 3 developed by, what was it, Black Isle. Yeah, he was chaotic evil, and if you took him along with you, he would be completely fine with you. But everywhere you went, you'd start getting in trouble and have increasingly more difficult speech checks to have to pass to not wind up wrapped up in his horrible, horrible schemes. Which I think is a nice touch, and is a great sort of fuck you for not being careful. it's from what I understand, as shitty as Empire of Sigmar is, at the very least, regular civilian life is slightly better than it is in 40K. Fantasy's kind of dead, but also kind of not. It's a weird situation they've shut that in. And 40K really depends on who they're letting write it at any given point. Because, you know, if you want good 40K, read some of Dan Abnett's stuff, especially Gaunt's Ghosts or Eisenhorn. Lieutenant Hayes' 10. I really wish they wouldn't say down the road when it's really, like, off to the right. But no, Deathwatch is take a regular Space Marine
Republic Army, 5th Battalion, 1st Company.
And then
what's your business?
Also take blind fucking fanaticism and absolute fucking hatred of the Xenos.
As you can probably...
Okay. Deathwatch are like Ordos Xeno... Deathwatch are basically Ordos Xeno Space Marines, but more fanatical. Like, their entire routine revolves around making them hate Xenos more and more with each passing second, and also giving them better weapons than literally every other faction. Sigmar, Age of Sigmar raised all kinds of hatred when they started it. Yeah, Age of Sigmar raised all kinds of stink when they started it because they basically killed fantasy for it. And then some stuff came out and it was like, okay, they're actually getting some shit together, maybe it'll be decent. And then they threw all this shit, and then they threw shit just right out the window and went, no, all the good shit that we just showed you was complete bullcrap. And it's like, what? What? Yeah. And it keeps leaning one way or the other, but it can never quite settle into being one or the other. And I wish it would. I don't think models for the new ones came out, and their planet was eaten by the Tyranids, but the whole thing is going like, their planet was eaten, but we're thinking of bringing the characters back. And it's like, or we're thinking of bringing the race back. I was like, okay. Space dwarves. Fine by me. Yeah, I'll bump up guns a fair bit.
Goodsprings has fended off a mob of escaped convicts after organizing an impromptu militia. This, according to an old man armed to the teeth with dynamite. Also, word on Camp Golf is that many
For now, I'm just gonna bump up repair, lockpicking guns.
One anonymous soldier said it was part of a new strategy. That's all for now.
The Primaris Marines, who are better than literally everything, but are currently getting insulted by Rowboat Girly Man. I'm turning off the radio. Not this song again. Oh, hi.
You like that?
I'm getting way too close to you. You have no tactical awareness. Yeah, waiting around this corner, I think. Oh.
Come on.
Come on, come on. I have all of the DLC. I've only done Honest Hearts, but I have all of it. And Honest Hearts was fun. Right, already looted you. There, buddy. Ah, there you are. Either way, I just started this playthrough, so I would definitely choose, I mean, the Ultramarines kind of, you know, it only seems appropriate for them to stay loyalists. I'd probably want the what are they called? The Thousand Sons to be loyalists. That's, you know, that's an interesting way to look at that. I was kind of scared the game was going to crash for a moment.
I don't know what it was brought you to Prim, youngster, but you might want to rethink your plans. Town's gone to hell.
Yep.
Johnson Nash is my name. Husband to Ruby Nash. Lived in Prim going on 8 years now, thick and thin. I'm a trader primarily, for what it's worth with things like they are. I also run the local Mojave
I will
Express
never be able to
outpost.
get over the fact that the Pain Glove is actually what they call that thing. Or is actually what the Imperial Fists call that thing. And it's like, the first place I heard about the Pain Glove was in If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device, with the whole, you know, oh, magic pain glove, reveal to me the future thing. I was like, okay, they've got to be making fun of some of what they actually what they actually call us. And it's like, no, that is legitimately what it's called.
Well, I don't got any work. I'll tell you whatever I can. You have a delivery order you can show me? Oh, so you're talking about one of them packages. That job had strange written all over it, but we couldn't turn down the caps. Well, now that you've mentioned it, a few nights back, one of the townies was out scavenging for supplies. He said he saw a fellow with a daisy suit come through with some of them Great Khan misfits. They was talking about a chip. Well, for that, your best bet is going to be talking to Deputy Beagle. Since they came to town, he was keeping a good bit of notes on him.
There's no way I'm letting that motherfucker live.
Your pretty boy friend came through. He may have heard where they were going.
Alright.
That cowboy robot had us hire 6 couriers. Each was carrying something a little different. Pair of dice, chess piece, that kind of stuff. Last word I have from the office, it looked like payment had been received for the other 5 jobs. Guess it was just your chip that didn't make it. First deadbeat we hired to do the job canceled. Hope a storm from the divide skins him alive. Well, that's where you came in. Yeah, I got this look when he saw you next down on the courier list. His expression turned right around. Asked me if your name was for real. I said, sure as like a rain, you were still kicking. Then he turned down the job, just like that.
I really need to do
I asked
Lonesome
if he was
Road,
sure it was good money. No, let Courier 6 carry the package. That's what he said. Like the Mojaves sort you out or something. Then he just up and walked out. No idea. Sounds like you two had a history for him to act like that. And turn down the money, too. Hope he didn't see any trouble in that package of yours. Maybe he thought your name was bad luck. Enough for me to say. Nope. Different fella. Bigger.
Alright.
Oh. Howdy.
Fuck it, I'm taking the motorcycle helmet. Walking around without something on my head at this point. And I should probably keep saving. If the Emperor ever fully dies, it's pretty much confirmed that, you know, shit's over. The warp wins. He is literally the only thing that is keeping the Chaos Gods from just coming right into the, right into the, right into the universe. Right, and after all that shooting, I just kneel down and I'm invisible. Alcohol. My guess is that, you know, the eye will... I'm assuming that maybe he's containing the eye or something. And I'm assuming that, you know, it'll just stop being contained and things are just gonna pour through. And there's just gonna be nothing anyone can do about it. Oh, thought I closed BattleNet. Say, isn't money supposed to have weight in... Isn't money supposed to weigh something in hardcore mode? I thought it was both. I mean, it only makes sense. Nope. Oh, shit. I just noticed my health. I should probably get the... What? Huh? What just happened?
Damn! Damn!
Right? Oh, there's plenty of other sci-fi universes that could handle a crusade. The Imperium is really fucking low-tech as far as sci-fi goes. The series that shall not be named is what we're calling Age of Sigmar, because it's a fucking mess. And they clearly don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, like, I've been wondering that for a while, because they keep going, oh, well, the warp is shared. And it's like, well, yeah, the warp is shared. Like, you keep saying that the warp is shared. Why not do something with that? This is Games Workshop we're talking about. The company that made an entire announcement about how they don't do market research. So, Honestly, I'm not sure if it's like I can never tell what the fuck is going on in the offices of that company. I'd like to see Eisenhorn and Gaunt run around in fantasy for a little while. I don't actually know much about fantasy. I've mostly focused on 40k, so have the Dark Eldar really ever done much apart from that time they fucked with the Tau? Wasn't there a guy here last time? Can I get a sneak attack? Hey! That might be a problem. I am repeatedly shooting this guy and he's just not dying. Wait.
Come on. I'm hit.
Where'd the guy go? Just sort of disappeared. Aren't you the most oblivious fucking guard ever? What the? The most oblivious fucking rapidly healing guard ever. Come on, buddy. Show your fucking face again. Come on, where the fuck did you go? Grenade. Shit.
Aha!
The guy who was just shooting you, who do you think?
Just getting jumpy, I guess. Aha! You like that?
These guys are stupid. Favorite Primarch? I'm not... I'm not doing well here. Favorite Primarch? I am not entirely sure, come to think of it. I mean, my problem isn't so much that I'm taking too much damage, so much as it is I'm not doing enough damage to some of these guys. Like, if you saw me fighting the convict leader, I did basically nothing to him. Ooh, Stimpack. I think the game is taking pity on me. I tried dropping mines. Did not work. I'm really used to playing normal mode where, you know... You're like, wow, Stimpaks wear off quick. And I did not mean to use a super there. Oh, hi. Okay. I did not mean to take that. Let's see. I've watched a few anime. I don't really read many comics, but I've read a few. I do read a fair few books. Probably one of my favorites as far as books go has got to be Roadside Picnic, which is a really damn good book. Close the door. Go. Okay, let's see if this works.
You like that?
No. Yep. Come on, buddy. Fucking great job.
Had enough?
No, I'm just about fine right now. Are you feeling all right, buddy? No? Okay. You look a little sick there. A little under the weather. I don't know why though. I mean, maybe it's just me. Favorite? Do you mean like historical fiction stuff or just history? The oldest chaos god is Nurgle. Nope. This is not where I want to be. This is the exact opposite of where I want to be. You have my complete agreement, Tango Crush. Tango Crunch, I mean. Anyone who doesn't like Wallace and Gromit is not a person that I care to know. Oh, I'm gonna get fucked. Tank engines and watching them get blockaded inside a tunnel? And left to suffer? Kiradil, there are more people on YouTube than on Twitch because the vast majority of my user base is YouTube based.
Come on.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. Guess I'll go with this. Yeah, I'm trying to clear this out first. Ooh, flamer. Or incinerator, technically. Either way. Which skill does that? It governs that. Oh. Why the hell is that energy weapons? Yes, I know. Seriously, I really do not understand why that's energy weapons. It would make... Oh, yay. More desync. It feels like it should be explosives, all told. I think there's also something like a 30-second delay between when I speak and when my and when it gets to you guys.
I don't suppose you came here. Why, yes, I am.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I really wish I
I'm
could
in a
figure
bit
out
of
what
a
was causing all the
predicament
desync,
here. I'd
but
be most appreciative if you'd set me free.
I got no clue. And it seems to be happening differently between Twitch and YouTube, too, so who the fuck knows?
Indeed I do, good sir. And I would be thrilled to share that
How the
information
fuck
with
is
you
my
as soon
key
as
so
I am
warm
released
after
from captivity.
all this time? Fascinating.
Oh, that's just marvelous. Oh, that's so gracious of you to offer to bodyguard me like that. But I'd only slow you down. See you outside.
I hate this guy.
Please excuse me, I'm extricating myself at the moment.
Ooh, thank you for letting me know about that. Ooh, and I almost missed a med kit. Or a medical box. No telling if it's a med kit. And food. You lie. There is no fresh water. Lots and lots of booze. Anything over here? No, didn't think so. Yeah. It's odd. Every once in a while I make jokes about, you know, I make jokes about alcohol and stuff, but if I'm honest, there was fucking not an empty bottle of Nuka, a full bottle of Nuka just sitting in a garbage can. Alright. If I'm honest, I really just don't have much interest in drinking. I don't know. Yeah, I know I'm probably gonna die again, but screw it. I need to clear this place out if I want shit to get done. Ooh, I also need to turn around. You know what? This is going to be a terrible, terrible idea. Or not. You are not at all being annoying. You are one of the people keeping chat alive, and oh shit.
Had enough?
I call bullshit on that. Okay. Yes, game. I understand how that works. Okay, I'm glad I have points in explosives. Almost forgot his varmint rep. Whoop, and his dynamite. Job hunting. I do not miss doing that. Shit, I did not want to do that. Let's see. Right click. I have been playing a fair amount of incredibly quickly, probably, given how fast the US tends to like to ban things like that. There's some really odd stuff about various. I'm sorry, I'm starting to zone out a little. Yeah, Psycho is not the sort of thing I want people to be running around on. That would not be. Yeah. Yeah, that's this sort of shit that I just don't want to deal with. Like, most drugs, even the ones that are harmful, it's just like, oh, it's damaging you, but like, I don't really care that it exists because it's not quite that likely to wind up hurting me, since I just have zero interest in shit like that. Have you ever read a book called All the Rage? Or rather, have you ever heard of the Repairman Jack series? I can't remember if it was the second or third book where there's this drug that gets introduced called Rage, and that's literally all it does. It just makes people super angry. But it's also super addictive. Ooh, nice. It's also super addictive. And also, like, there's this whole thing where, like, the super angry bit doesn't come until later. The first few times you take it, it's a lot like taking Coke, where it just makes you super energized and shit like that. But it's also cheaper, so like, people are taking it going like, oh, this is fine, this is all fine, and then all of a sudden they'll finally take the dose that does it, and they'll wind up feeling nothing but angry at everything, and also wind up with superhuman strength. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Hell, wasn't, like, most of the really weird, awful shit in Fallout somehow related to Alaska? And jet. I don't really need iron. Like, hell, death claws were a government experiment to try and create a sort of dangerous war beast that they could just drop behind enemy lines. Yeah. Yeah, most of this shit just ties back to Alaska and the fuel war. Well, yeah, Alaska was... China invaded Alaska, and then... Yeah. There he is. Hey, buddy. I'm probably gonna take the center mass perk. Because, you know, center mass.
This is hopeless!
Yeah. And then the nukes fell. And then that was kind of that. Really, shit like FEV, it's like, you're acknowledging at the very start that this is a virus. Nothing good is going to come of this. Like, this is just going to go absolutely terribly. I'm also really interested to see what's happened to the rest of the world as far as Fallout goes. 'Cause, you know, nothing's ever really been revealed. And for the most part, it seems like it was US and China that were going out at each other. So, like, what about Australia? Are they still fine? Has anything changed there? Wait, fucking seriously? I think I missed that part.
Hey there.
Hey, youngster. Sure.
Alright. Yeah, I need all the stim packs I can get. And I will sell my spare farming rifle. That. And that and that. And all this shit that I do not care about. And right. Shit, no, I want that fixer, just in case. I don't want the jet or the psycho, if I can find it, or the steady. Right. And I know Michigan just doesn't exist after 3, as far because of Mothership Zeta, where you fire the gun and it just hits Michigan. Just all of Michigan. I'd say it's an improvement, but I mean, I suppose it isn't really all that surprising.
Howdy, partner. Welcome. Prim Slim at your service. Authentic cowpoke and official smoke spot of the Vicky and Vance Casino and Museum. Yeehaw! Where have you been, partner? Hiding under a rock? Vicky and Vance were this nation's 4th or maybe 5th most infamous celebrity outlaw couple ever. That's
Yeah, I'll finish talking to this guy
Prim
and
Slim
then
here
that'll
can
be
tell you the
that
whole
for
story.
tonight, I
If you
think.
can spare a minute to hear the tale. Yahoo! I ain't had a chance to tell their tale in a mess of years. First things first. Any boss you've heard about Vicky and Vance being copycats ain't nothing but ill-tempered slander. Fact is, they begun their crime spree 2 days before Bonnie and Clyde robbed their first bank. So who was copying who? Now, true, Vicky and Vance didn't exactly cut a wide swath of murder and bank robbery across the central U.S. like Bonnie and Clyde did. It was more like a narrow swath of shoplifting, check cashing fraud, and gas pump drive-offs. But crime is crime. They drove reckless, too. Having lived by the gun, Well, Vance owned one anyway. It was only fitting that the duo of desperados would die by the gun. Perhaps it was fate itself that accidentally drove them into a crossfire between police and a gang of bank robbers in Plano, Texas.
I
Or
haven't
maybe
done
they just
Lonesome
didn't notice
Road,
until it
so
was too
I've
late.
got no
It's
idea.
been said that Vicky would have tried to cash a bad check in
Like
that
I said,
bank.
the only DLC that I've
Never know for
played
sure.
through is
All we
Honest
know is that the
Hearts.
crossfire tore the car
Never
and
got
both
around to the
occupants
others.
pieces, and the police issued an official apology. You can
I'll
put your
probably
eyes
go
on
through
the
the
genuine death card
through the
just over
others
yonder.
this time,
And there's
though.
Vance's machine gun in the case next to it.
So they went around naked.
Hey there.
Howdy, partner. What? Just mosey on over to the display case and you'll see it plain as day. Quite a piece, that gun. Mint condition, never fired.
I've heard that it's a little. I've heard that dead money can be rough. I don't know. Maybe the Gauss rifle. Most of the Fallout weapons are real weapons. Or at least most of the ballistic ones, and I really just don't have any interest in energy weapons or ridiculous stuff. Yeah.
Have you gone?
Yeah. Right. I really need to go sleep. I am just gonna pass out if I try and keep playing. So that is going to be it for today. Yeah. See you guys all later. Have a great night or morning or afternoon, whichever.